Okay, let me hide this. So, hello everyone. My name is Muhannad Al-Risi, and I'm going to present today the static site generators. And will be a short TikTok. So, our agenda is what is static site generators and why we want to use static site generators. And then I'm going to show a simple demo, and then if there is any questions, will be answered. Okay, so what is a static site generator? Basically, they are tools that generate static pages, which is in the end, we will have HTML, CSS, and some assets. So they are not new. They've been here available like for many years, but they become really good. They are available in all flavors, means that any programming language, almost any frameworks, they have a tool for static site generators for the developers in that ecosystem. Okay, so let's start by this diagram, which shows how the static site generator works. And basically on the top, on the left-hand side, there is the template engine and the content, which mainly will be a markdown files, maybe some HTML pages, and the data can be images or any kind of other files. And then with this framework, then we can create or we can generate HTML or websites using static site generator as a tool to compile all the assets and produce HTML pages. Then we can also publish them into any host, and user can see and view the website. So this is like an example of how the ecosystem is worked. So let's see the code on the top where we have header and logo and navbar, which is kind of it of view components. And then the static site generator as a tool will generate this output as a pure HTML converted totally. So the end, we won't need Vue to be compiling these components in the browser. So now we can say there is HTML developers. And why we want to use static site generators? Because they are fast, secure, and scalable. The performance, one example is Jamstack, which hosts the website in the CDN, which delivers more fast performance. And also we can scale them. I think Firebase showcased this, which if you have a basic HTML page, then you can just add data dynamically in real time. Also, we can use some like headless CMSs available or any microservice to integrate and give the site, the static site, some actions. It is secure. There is no database involved, no server-side rendering, anything, and there is no code injection, means there is no vulnerabilities like XSS, XR, CRSF, and those kind of attacks. And now time for demo. So, okay. So our demo will be a really basic example to showcase. I have took this document from our engineering standards repository, and I also moved the other document into this folder. So we have our content here available. And let me just delete this so we can see the outputs when we compile this. Okay, this is Next framework. So it is based on Vue.js. So our code only those two files, these two components. We have our logo, and we have our any kind of text, and then we're gonna load the documents on this page. All right, now to run it. So PM it should be fast. All right, let me go to the other page we have in our website, which is the Slack, which is this one kind of dynamic, how we can fetch other documents. And this will be easier to understand when we have this website working. Right, so we are on port 3000. So yeah, this is how the website looks. There's no much coding, there's no much style. And if we want to change this features, which is coming with the ecosystem that I'm using, I can edit the file in the browser. So I don't need to go actually inside the source code to change the markdown. And if I just leave this line, and yeah, it vanished. All right. Okay. So there is also the navigation, which is create like subpages. And if we click on the first two are duplicated, so I will explain this why I made them. And if we can go to C, and we can fetch the content from this page, which is the same if we go back and into this page. But the difference here, how the framework understand and how it will compile these two assets into two separate pages. And this will be after we running the code, which is generating the static site. So we'll let the next now to generate our website. It will generate the website as a static website. And let's see the source code to see how the distributed folder will look like. So we have our index, which is a compiled markdown file into HTML file. And then we have other document, which is a title as a project workflow, which is the title name of that page. And also we have this page completely converted to HTML from markdown file. And if we go to see our workflow markdown, it is, yeah, this page. And it was just markdown file, and then we convert that to HTML. All right. Now let's see when we actually use this, or how when we develop, how the performance will change. So if I go npm run start, yeah. So again, it run in production, and let's see how it look like if we just involve our inspection tool and when the network, and let's refresh. So in the first time, it will load all the assets of the index page. And because we have, let me just put this on the side and refresh the page again. So we are on the home page, so it loads all the assets that the static site generators did. And if we went to this page, the first one, which is didn't compile, and we see this page again loads with the same assets. But if we get back to the home page, as you see, the network didn't change because this is how the browser understands. And if we went to this page, which is the file we created as an HTML compiled, as you can see, also it did only one request, which is there is an image which I didn't include it, and it gets 404 as an error of file didn't found. That's it for static site generators.
All right, thank you, Muhannad. I have a couple of, I guess, because I've heard of static site generators, but I'm gonna, I guess, use this opportunity to somewhat confirm some things. So I'm gonna like ask questions in a statement kind of way, basically, just to confirm what I understand of them. So my understanding is they are mainly used as a kind of improvement of developer experience, right? Because when it comes to content, when you're adding content as a developer, it's not like there's only one way to add it, I guess, or it's not very seamless or not very clean. And they offer like so many options to add content. Like you could use Markdown to add content and things like that. So it's kind of a, I guess, static site the generator is kind of a developer experience improvement. Is that like kind of one of the main things?
Yeah, so this is one of the features, and it's basically it's like even if you want to publish one page, then if you want to treat it as like full HTML, or if you want to treat it as how you develop, this is with this is the main point is that will enhance the developer experience.
Okay. How does it work when it comes to, sorry, this is the last question, and then I'll let everybody else. But how does it work when it comes to, so it seems very good at creating static pages, because it's, from my understanding, things like the JavaScript gets ran before it, so it generates whatever needs to be generated before it gets to the browser, right? So when the browser gets it, it gets like an HTML file, right?
Right.
Pre-generated. So that's good, but how does that work when it comes to creating like a dynamic site? So let's say a site that needs like user interaction and needs like things to, happen real time.
So there's like so many use cases that we can do, which we can use microservices to do this kind of features implemented in our static pages. For example, Firebase, that just you drop that script tag, everything will be done. And the other thing, I think this is part of the answer. Let's say the user experience of what React brings can be used in the same context as other that static HTML being generated. So we won't lose that effect.
Okay, so you're not losing. Okay, so it's just like it's a bonus, really, right? So for some pages, you can generate them faster, but you can still keep the feature of having like an interactive site that can like call databases. Still, like you can still do the same thing. It's just a bonus.
Yes.
Okay, clear. Thanks for answering.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I had to just say, this is a very broad question here, but what was the inspiration to pick this topic?
Actually, I've been like interested in static site generators because I've been exploring a quick way where you can convert your markdown to get a normal page, and this looks like how GitHub does in their documentation. So then I dive into these tools, and I found out that it's really good, not for only like generating websites from markdown files, but also when you develop a small to medium websites that you mainly don't change the content between a period of time. So be more effective and also more maintainable, because what the community suggests is you make this tool to live in Git, so you can keep, follow, and maintain the state of what you generate from the tool.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I have one more question, if because I've also been very interested in static site generators for a long time, but played around a bit with some of them, and my understanding is there's a large, very large number of static site generators to the point it's overwhelming. So I would say, like, if you would, this is I guess a more opinionated question, asking about your opinion. If we were to start using them tomorrow, what would you pick and why out of the huge list that we have? And keep in mind, like, our company as a context, like in what case it would be like for a client.
So okay, it depends. So the answer is depends, but mostly I will use them as a way for documenting technical stuff for any project. So it will be more easier to navigate through the the pages also to get, you can add that functionality if you want to search up for something that you can get it really quickly. So I think that is the thing that if we can implement it, it will be really, really great.
But which one would you? I guess. Well, the answer is it depends.
Depends.
Yeah. Okay. It's the right answer that everybody hates. But it's the true answer. So thanks.
I guess I'll just extend onto that one and just hold your feet to the fire a little bit closer. Based on what you've seen so far, existing and maybe even past projects, is there a project that you look at and say, hey, man, this could have really served us if we used a static site generator?
Like a website, like a website.
Yeah, I think the PhazeRo website, because yeah, one of the.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which site generator would you use for that?
This is a tough question, but I think I will go with the one which has more features, like NextNow chip tool, which optimize the images. So when you generate your static site, it also will optimize your images for the production. So you have that advantage. And I think also Next.js also has like really big.
Good. Sorry.
Yeah, Next.js has like really good tools also. I think this is like the battle now, which frameworks deliver much performance, and the battle didn't finish yet. So it will
all of them are good. It's just like the differences are probably very small in certain specific areas, right?
Right. But this is our advantage, is like to pick the best tool for the best use case and going forward with it.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I'll jump in. Just for my understanding. Static pages generator is basically a way for the browser to generate, like to save bandwidth in a sense. So I don't have to load the whole thing. The browser side will generate it for me. Is that right?
No, the browser doesn't generate anything for you, but the browser understands HTML better than any other, like JavaScript or any other thing, because this is like the main language. So how fast that browser can serve you the content when you browser as a client, it doesn't matter which language, which tool that you have used to build your website. But as a client, you need just to read or to get the content, get access to anything. And if it was like purely HTML, then yeah, then that will be really, really fast. And with the Jamstack nowadays, now you can get much more faster with CDN level. So you skip the old traditional request schema, which client to the server, then server fetch you the file and send it back to you. But the CDN, which will live on the between there, so you can fetch the content much faster, and is available globally. So you will avoid that where is the server located to get the files faster. And this is the main point.
Okay, got it.
Any other questions?
Anyone?
I'm good.
Yeah, same. Thank you, Muhannad.
Thank you all for coming. And yeah, we will end it here, and I will let you guys go get back to your work. You
Awesome.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, Muhannad. Appreciate it. I look forward to seeing this floating around the company, either for internal projects or for client-facing projects. So we'll definitely keep an eye out.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a good day.